Hello, Julie here, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Today I'm going to be sharing a layout I created for the challenge over at Mystical Scrapbooks for August. The challenge is to use this sketch by Page Maps. I'm going to use one photo instead of two, and this started life as a 5x7, but I've trimmed it down so that it's 5 by about 3 3/4. I've used a emery board and filed around the edge of the photo once I've trimmed it, and now I'm going to mat it onto a piece of black cardstock so that it's got a very fine black border all around. The pattern paper that I'm using for my background is from Be Arty, and it's from the Be the Sunshine range, and it's called Painted Honeycomb. I'm trimming the branding strip off of that, and I'll be using that as my background. The other requirement for this challenge is to use sparkle on your layout, so I've decided to use washi tapes for my strips instead of pattern paper, and that way I can use some sparkling washi tapes. I've got an assortment of washi tapes in different widths and patterns, so I'm going to start about 4 inches down from the top of the layout background and just apply or add these washi tapes so that they butt up against each other. I wanted to get them straight, so I'm using my T-ruler to get the first row straight, and then once that is straight, if I butt the edges up with each other, they should continue to be straight. So I am doing an assortment of lengths. They're not all the same length, they're in and out, so I get a bit of variation. I am using a mixture of the glitter tapes and plain tapes. Yes, and I'm doing it so that I end up with about 4 inches worth of tapes on the page. I don't have a great deal of faith in the glue that is on washi tapes. They are supposed to be removable, so you will notice that on most of them I will add a bit of glue behind each row. I add a little bit of the art glitter glue to the background page and then lay the washi tape on top of that. That way I get to have a bit of wiggle room. Time now to think about where I'm going to place my photo. In the sketch, the photo is off to the left slightly, so that's where I think I'm going to position mine. But before I add my photo to my layout, I'm going to add a piece of cardboard to the back of the photo so that it's lifted off of the page. To add a little bit of texture to my layout, I'm going to use some fine lace and just run one row of that along under the photo. I'm going to attach that to the layout using the liquid glue. In the sketch there is a little cluster down in the bottom left corner, so I'm going to create that now using 3 washi tapes. I'm going to cut them various lengths and layer them on top of each other. Once again, I'm going to use a bit of liquid glue to make sure that they stay in place. The sketch shows some embellishments tumbling down the right-hand half of the layout, but I've decided to do mine diagonally across the layout, and my embellishments that I'm using are a chipboard. They're a Memory Maze chipboard, Linda's Scribble with butterflies, and I have painted them white. I'm going to use 5 of those on my layout. One of them will be on top of that little cluster down in the bottom section of the layout. I'm going to use my art glitter glue once again to attach my chipboard. So I'm going to add a little more sparkle to my layout, and to do that I'm going to use 28 Lilac Lane premium sequins. This collection is called Golden. I'm going to open the pack, take a few out and just sprinkle them onto my layout, and where they land is where they will be attached. So I'm using my Pick Me Up tool and my art glitter glue to attach those sequins. I'm also going to add some tiny pink gems that came in the kit that was attached to the Retro TV programs competition that Mystical Scrapbooks recently ran. So same thing with these, I'm just going to add them to my background randomly. Now I'm going to use my fountain pen to draw a black scribbly border around my page. That is not in the sketch, but I always like to have a bit of a border around my page. It always makes it look a bit more finished to me. And for the title, I've used a couple of dies. One is Uniquely Creative Small Lowercase Alpha, and the other one is Dynamics Little Numbers. I've cut them out of black cardstock and lined them up on a piece of removable tape. This allows me to sort of move my title around until I can find a spot that I like. The title in the sketch is above the photos to the right. I didn't want to put mine up there. I ended up deciding to put it under the photo so that it sort of carries that diagonal flow through the layout. Once I'd made my decision, I used my art glitter glue to attach the title. Now that I've got my title in place, I'm going to add a few sequins and little pink gems to the right hand side of the photo. I'm not going to overdo it, just a few. And that will finish off my layout for today. Now, in the description box below, you will find a link to the challenge. I will also put links to the products I've used, so if you're interested in any of those, you'll be able to have a look at them and see whether there's something similar that you have already got that you could use. And also, check out the challenge. It is a monthly challenge and it's always good fun. There will be 2 challenges, so 2 sketches to try. That's it for me for today, so thank you for watching my video, and if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I am trying to get some more subscribers, so yes, give me a like, a thumbs up, a comment. Any of those things will help me grow. So thank you for being here, and I hope you can join me for my next video.